I made this shirt using Cricut Design Space, and today I made this shirt using Leonardo Design Studio. I'm going to show you how I did it. Let's get started. Hello everyone, and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to rep for your team. Now, this might be your team or you might be rooting for someone else. No matter who your team is, this process will be helpful to you. Now, remember, I'm not using a cutter for this because we are following the sublimation process. At the end of this video, if you find it helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's head over to the computer so I can show you how to download the file from Creative Fabrica and how to find your team's hex code colors. Let's get started. The materials I'm using for this project include this Cricut brand shirt. This is an extra large, it's the men's cut. This is 95% polyester. I'm using sublimation paper in the 8.5 by 14 size. My ink is Hippo Sublimation ink. I will also be using a lint roller, Cricut heat resistant tape. I'll use butcher paper, and my printer is an Epson EcoTank 2760 that has this ink inside. I will be using that heat press back there. It is the 16 by 20 auto open Walla press that I purchased from Heat Transfer Warehouse. I will create the design in Leonardo Design Studio. Let's head over to the computer so that I can show you the file and how to find the right colors to represent your team. The first thing we're going to do is come over to the Creative Fabrica website. They do have a fantastic deal that's going on right now. Their current subscription is $3.99 per month, and it is billed one time for $47 per year. We are going to do a search for leopard print SVG, and we are going to look for a simple SVG that is not filled in. I'm going to show you one that I found that I like. And what I'm going to do is just click download. Once I click download, it will go over here to the upper right corner of my screen. I will click on the download option. If you are interested in finding out a specific team's hex colors or hex code colors, just open a Google tab and type in your question. What are the Chiefs hex colors? Okay, so for Kansas City Chiefs, their hex colors are E31837 for the red and FFB81C for the gold. So what I would do is write those two numbers down, and then I would go into Leonardo Design Studio or Cricut Design Space. Now, in this case, if you're not looking for the Chiefs, you would just type in the team for the colors you're looking for. If you're not looking for the Chiefs, let's just say you're looking for the 49ers. You would just type in what are the 49ers hex colors, and it will give you the colors, and you would type those in when it's time, when you get to the software that you're using. Okay, now let's head into Leonardo Design Studio. I am in Leonardo Design Studio, and the first thing I'm going to do is go to File and Open. I'm going to open the SVG template that I just downloaded from Creative Fabrica. One will be a PNG, the other will be an SVG. Make sure you're getting the one that has the Microsoft Edge HTML document. Okay, once it comes in, I'm going to bring it in as editable artwork. I'm going to click Apply. The next thing I'll do is change the color of the leopard print. So right here, I'm going to go to the Properties panel and Color Picker. I'm going to click on the red, and the color for the Chiefs, the red color for the Chiefs is E31837. I'm going to click apply. That brings the color in. Now what I'll do is just move this over to the side just for a second. The next thing I'll do is go down here to the text option, and I'm going to turn on my caps lock, and I'm going to just type a K and a C right here. And I'm using a font that is called University that I downloaded from Creative Fabrica. It's this one right here. I'm going to click apply. The next thing I'll do is just make it bigger. I'll stretch it out as big as I want it to be. In this case, I think I want it right at about 10.3. And I want the height can be right at 8.2, that's fine. I do have the proportions locked, so 10.3 by 8.226 is perfectly fine. The next thing I'll do is go down here to build contours, and I will select the option for editable contour cut only, and I will bring the offset up. I'll just keep clicking the up arrow, and I'll bring the offset up to a thickness that I think will look nice on this design. So I think right at about 0.142 is good, and I'll click apply. The next thing I'll do is select the offset, that black layer and the red layer. I'll select both. And what I'll do is I'll go down here and I will select the option for stamp keep. What that will do is give the black line, it'll make the black line an offset or an outline layer, and the red will be filled in. So let's just move this over for 1 second, and I'll bring the black layer over. Now this black layer, I actually don't want it to be black. I actually want this to be the second color for the Chiefs. So I'm going to click over here in the properties panel again, and I'm going to change the hex color to FFB81C. And I'm going to click apply. Okay, there's my second color. Now, I'll move this out for now. I don't need it just yet. I'll move the leopard print back over here, and I will put the filled in letters on top of this. What I'll do now is select the leopard print and the filled in letters together, and I will go down here to the menu at the bottom, and I will select the option to intersect these. Now, what I'll need to do really quickly is select the K and the C that is the leopard print, and I will select the option to, I can just right click on this and I can select the option to go to paths, and what I want to do is just weld the paths, and what that will do is just keep the whole thing together. Okay, so now that I have this exactly where I want it, I think it looks great. I want to bring the offset behind this so that it will fit right there on top perfectly the way that it should. Now I'll select both of these, and I will select the option to arrange and align objects, and I'll select center so that they are centered the way they should be. What I'll do now is select both, and I will go back down here to build contours, and I will change this to a print and cut logo by clicking apply. So now if I were to go to my layers panel and I see that I have a group, if I right click on this and I go to ungroup, I see that I have the red, which is the leopard print, that goldish color, which is the outline, and then I have something that's called a cut contour, and I actually don't need that cut contour. So what I'm going to do is click edit and delete that. Oh, let me go back. Did not mean to do that. I want to select the contour only. Okay. And what I want to do is go to edit and delete that contour in the back. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my text option, and I'm going to type the word Chiefs. Now, let me turn the caps lock off because I don't need it to be on right now. And I'm going to go to a font that is called Master Baker. I think that's what it's called. It is called yeah, Master Baker. And let me change the C. I do want the C to be capitalized. I think this looks great. Okay, let's see if we can bring that. Okay, and let's click apply. And the Chiefs came in blue, and I actually want that to be black. So I'm going to just click black, and I will make this a lot bigger actually. I want to bring this in, and I want to stretch it out a little bit more. And I want to kind of have it at a diagonal like that. I think this looks good. Okay, and instead of having this in black, let me change this to that gold or the orangish color and see if I like it. I think that looks okay, but what I want to do now is add an offset around the Chiefs. So I'm going to, with the word Chiefs selected, I'm going to select Build Contours, and I'm going to go to Editable Contour. I'm going to include the holes, and I'm going to increase the offset just to a thickness that I think will look nice. And I think right at about 0.083 looks good. I'm going to click Apply. I think this looks okay, but I think instead of having Chiefs in that orangish color, I think I want to change that, and I want that to be in the crimson color. So I'm going to click apply. I think that looks excellent. I think this looks fantastic. So now what I want to do is select everything on the screen, the KC and the Chiefs. And what I'm going to do is go back down here to Build Contours, and I want this to be a print and cut logo. So I'm going to click apply. Now, what that is doing is making this a print and cut job. And that's exactly what I want this to be. Now I can look here and I can see these red dashed lines, which means I'm outside of the printable area. So what I'm going to do is, with everything selected, I'm just going to kind of just move it over and see if that will give me what I need. So I think this looks great. Now right here, I can see my paper size for print and cut is right at A3, which is 297 by 420 millimeters. And what I can do here is I can select the printer option, and I can go to 8.5 by 14 and see if that's actually going to work. So I'm going to click on properties, and let's see if 8.5 by 14 will give me what I needed to give. Let's go to the page marks, and let's change the page mark, the size of the page marks. Right now I have it set to 0.010. Let's set it to 0.005. And let's click that. So we just widen the page marks. I think that's great. Let's make that a little bit wider. Okay. Now let's click Send Design. Let's try it again. And now I can see I have some errors right here. I see that my printer is selected, my Epson EcoTank 2760. The page size or the print size is 14 by 8.5. Let's click recenter. Okay, so I still see that I'm outside of the allowable range, which is fine. What I'll do right here is I can just bring this down a little bit, because I don't think it's going to allow me to do that. It's not going to allow me to print that big, but I still want to go as big as I can. So it will allow me to go to 10.018 and 8.075. This is sufficient. And what I can do now is click Send to Printer, and I would select my Epson EcoTank 2760 series. I'm going to select properties. I'm going to go with my 8.5 by 14 sublimation mirrored, and I'm going to make sure that my paper, my orientation is set to landscape, just like it is right here on my screen. I'm going to select OK, and I'm going to select OK again, and I'll get the paper inserted, and we will get this pressed on our shirt. This is going to look excellent. It's going to look exactly like this. Everything I'll do from here will be back on the camera. Okay, so make sure your paper size matches. So I'm going to click OK, and letter, it's on letter size. That's not the right size. So I have to change it, change the setting, and go to OK and click print. My heat press is set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 seconds. I normally let my sublimated image sit here on the printer before I actually press them. I let them sit there for about a minute or so. So this one has already been sitting. Now what I'm going to have to do is be careful about these registration lines because they are very, very close. This one is actually touching the image. So I'm going to cut the lines away. I'm not worried about this side. This side is fine. But over here, I have to be careful about where I cut, and then I'll prepare the shirt for pressing. Here's my Cricut shirt. The first thing I'm going to do is lint roll this to make sure that I remove any of the blue fibers that are on the shirt that I wouldn't see it until the shirt was actually pressed. So I'm just going to go over this with my lint roller. The next thing I'm going to do is put butcher paper inside the shirt to protect any of the ink from going all the way through the shirt. Now I'm going to do a 5-second pre-press on the shirt to remove any moisture. Now I'm going to take the image. Here's my Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to turn it over face down so I don't have the registration lines anymore. I'm going to put the image face down on the shirt, like right at about 3 fingers from the top or from the collar. And because I didn't do a crease down the middle, I'm kind of having to just eyeball it and make sure that it is in the middle. And now what I'm going to do is tape this down with some of that heat resistant tape. Okay, I'm also going to put butcher paper on top of this to protect my heat press from getting any of the ink on the top platen. Going to press this on 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 seconds. Okay, so now it's time for the reveal. You know that this is always my favorite part of any tutorial. I'm very excited about this. Let's see how it looks. So I'm going to peel it. Oh, I left a piece of the, oh my gosh, it looks really good. It looks very, very good. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it's hot, super hot. Removing the butcher paper from the inside, removing the tape. Let's get a good look at it. So this is the finished product, and what am I going to say? I love it, and I think any Kansas City Chiefs fan would love it too. I think it looks excellent. I love the fact that I'm not limited with the size. In Leonardo Design Studio, you see I did not use any cutting machine at all, and this image looks excellent. If you have found this tutorial helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and Thanks for watching. Bye.